Again, I hesitate to use the term like a pet fence or something to put around it. Not that Frankie is an animal, but it's a barrier.
That's a great idea.
You know,
it's
like
a great idea.
Just kind of put it away. Because this year, for the first, we got this.
It's called a baby gate. Which is basically like a pet fence.
Yeah, it's like a baby gate, a baby pen. You kind of corral them, a baby corral. The new dog is the first dog we've ever had that is running behind the tree, and she goes back behind the tree and then just lays down like, oh, I'm outside and this is a safe place. But we're not putting up a corral, a doggy corral. I only had one dog. The other dog, the dog who's here, the first year he was in our house, he thought he saw the tree for the first time in the living room and he thought he was outside. So, yes, I was like, he learned very quickly that this is not that kind of tree.
This is just backwards for a couple days.
So do you, now I know you've mentioned this many times before, your mom loves the cannibal sandwiches on Christmas. Will you be having any of those tonight in your own home?
No, absolutely not. Actually, the funniest story with the cannibal sandwiches, which is not totally PC, so I remind everyone that this was the 90s, but we had Christmas Day at our house, and this was like the late 90s, so my aunts, all of my mom's side of the family was with us, and my mom loves telling this story. This was also the same year that my brother's best friend, BK, and my dad was his coach, so he was living with us for the year, so he was there on Christmas. And this is also a kid who earlier that year had sent his steak back 3 times because it was not well done enough. And so
my God.
This is a guy who liked his meat cooked. And he was probably, I think he was a freshman in high school. And so there's a lot of traditions that were very different in our house than the house he grew up in. And he's with all my aunts who are boisterous, and I'm pretty sure, I was only 11-ish. And so I'm pretty sure everyone had already had some drinks.
Yeah.
And he looks at the bowl of raw meat and his already pretty big eyes like the Grinch, like tripled in size that day, and looked at my mom and said, "What is that?" And she just, casually said, "Well, they're cannibal sandwiches." And he goes, "I'm sorry, what? They're what?" And she tried to explain what they were, and he was so grossed out. And then my mom decided that she thought it'd be really funny to start pounding on the table and chanting like they were a cannibalistic tribe. And then my aunts joined in. and somehow he decided not to move out the very next day.
You listen, maybe that was your mom's plan all along. Maybe. She had a little too much of him coming in. We're having Chinese food tonight, which is a tradition we started a long time ago. My aunt my dad's sister, his only sister, used to take us out on Christmas Eve. And then when she passed away, the family was like, well, we're all seeing each other tomorrow. Maybe we could do our own thing. And so Debbie and Molly decided that our thing on Christmas Eve was going to be to get Chinese food. So we will get Chinese food, and we will sit around. And then my ultimate Christmas Eve is once they go to bed. Everybody goes to bed except the dogs and I. And I sit there with a cocktail and I watch Bad Santa. And then it is time for Christmas. Because then Santa arrives after Bad Santa is screened, then Good Santa arrives. But I'm excited about this, and I know this may shock some people, but I really do love Christmas and the more traditional stuff. So we're going to not only have a Christmas classic, Yes, Virginia, we're going to end the show with one of the big traditions in my house, and we're going to talk a little bit about Hanukkah, because Hanukkah starts tomorrow too. But when we come back, one of the big things we all like to do is sing the 12 Days of Christmas. And you're like, oh, no, are you going to do how much it costs? No, we're not going to do that old jive thing, how much it costs. Kristen, who loves Broadway musicals, she loves to perform. Last year, she did a rendition of the 12 Days of Christmas. So we are going to hear that rendition of the 12 Days of Christmas. It's special. It's tweaked. It's not the usual. So we'll get to that and so much more on the big Christmas Eve extravaganza on Spanning the State.
You're listening to the Spanning the State Holiday Special, brought to you by Heiser Automotive. The only place to get this.
The Bucks are back. 97-81. They clobber the Thunder. They are the Emirates NBA Cup champions.
You got the best player in the NBA wearing the Milwaukee across his chest. He's us. I mean, we're him, he's us.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show with Justin Garcia and Brandon Snide. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning diamond pendant, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer. Or maybe you're looking for that perfect gemstone piece or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have hundreds of styles that are ready to be wrapped and put under the tree. No need to wait for shipping. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas before you head to the store, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
When you need to sell quickly, choose Grandview to buy your home, even if it's less than perfect. Don't waste time and money on finding a real estate agent and dealing with showings. We'll buy your home completely as is. No repairs, not even a clean out. Grandview Homes gives you an offer in hours, and we close on the day you choose in as little as 10 days with no closing costs. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
Welcome back to the special Christmas Eve edition of Spanning the State. I'm excited for this because I love a good rendition of a Christmas carol, a traditional song for the holiday. And last year you decided, or
So
2
it was
years
2 years ago. I was maternity leave
ago.
last year. So
All right.
where this started was, 3 years ago for Journal Sentinel, we did a fun video of Jeopardy Christmas, and I played all of the characters. I had different costumes on, and I had like a very Wisconsin accent. I had a know-it-all. I really leaned into my acting chops.
Nice.
So then the next year came, so this is 2022, and we're like, how do we top last year? And I was like, all right, well, maybe I'll do a rendition of Wisconsin's 12 Days of Christmas.
Did you have it or did you write this?
I wrote it.
Oh,
I mean,
very
it's
nice.
not that hard, right? It's like I think you look up quintessential Wisconsin Christmas traditions,
Okay.
right? And so I came up with my 12, but the problem was the only access to an instrumental version of 12 Days of Christmas that I could sing along to was not in my range, let's say. And so I was trying to sing along to a very fast beat to a key that was not in my register. And so I still cringe listening to this. But, because I'm going to take one for the team,
All right.
I thought we would play it for you, mostly to embarrass myself, but also to see if people agree with what I chose as far as quintessential Wisconsin Christmas traditions. So let's have the embarrassment begin. On the 12th day of Christmas, Wisconsin gave to me 12 bike lane Santas, 11 cocktail weenies, 10 Christmas Stalin, 9 aluminum trees, 8 Mertz's cheese balls, 7 cherry Kringles, 6 Tom and Jerry's, 5 cannibal sandwiches, 4 brandy slushes, 3 pickled herring, 2 shot skis, and a drive down candy cane lane.
Very nice. Very nice.
The
I may
internet
have
is forever, so if you would like to go see that, you can probably Google Kristen Bride Journal Sentinel Christmas, and it's somewhere.
I've already added it to my Spotify Christmas playlist. It's going to be.
I feel like I'm actually a better singer than that when it's in the right, I'm an alto, let's be honest.
Well, you've talked about your singing abilities before, so
I desire to be able to sing.
Right. I think, you know what? You sang like nobody was watching, and I appreciate that. It was very celebratory, very Christmassy.
So just to recap, this is what I put. I said 12 bicycling Santas, which is obviously the Santa
Sure.
bike ride that was last weekend. 11 cocktail weenies.
Makes sense.
I don't know if that's only Wisconsin thing. But
No,
it's-
I do a lot of. I put them in the crescent rolls though,
all right,
like
yeah.
pigs in a blanket kind of.
10 Christmas Stalin. 9. Well, you just learned this one. 9 aluminum trees, which is from Manitowoc,
Yes.
Wisconsin, originally where they were made.
I love the old aluminum. My grandfather had one of those trees with the circling light. We'd go, ooh. It was
So
like
those are
magic.
very Wisconsin because they were made
Yes.
here. 8 Mertz's cheese balls.
Oh, I love Mertz.
Yeah, everyone loves Mertz's. My mom has a version of Mertz's where she mixes it with butter. So it's just butter
Oh.
and Mertz's in like a new spread. It's really good.
Wow.
7 cherry Kringles.
Okay.
Kringles in general, but I needed the
Sure.
syllables to match up.
Da, 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 da.
6 Tom and Jerry's.
Okay.
Which
What are-
again, not Tom and Jerry's are popular here. I don't know if it's not only a Wisconsin thing.
I
though.
just saw some. What are those again? So I just saw something about a Tom and Jerry.
I think it has egg, so
Yes.
it has egg whites in it, and I think it has a little nutmeg on top.
Okay.
I think it's gin.
Okay.
And then the most controversial 5 cannibal sandwiches, which is the raw meat.
Yeah.
4 pickled herring.
I know pickled
Again,
herring. I would not eat a
yeah.
pickled herring.
3 brandy slushes.
I'm in.
2 Shotskis.
Okay. I just did those a Shotsky the other night at a party with my old teacher pals.
Ooh.
Except I'm too tall. Because the other
That's
people
true.
were
Everyone's
not.
too short.
Yeah,
so you're
everybody
like
was-
lifting everyone else
yeah,
with you. And then finally, a drive down Candy Cane Lane. So those were the 12 things that I chose for Wisconsin.
Those are
Christmas.
good.
I think pretty good. So
Yeah.
if there's anything on that list that you would replace with something, 855-616-1620. We would love to hear from you.
Yes.
But then my mom gave me last year for Christmas, technically I guess this is a gift for Frankie, a children's book.
Okay.
That is the 12 Days of Christmas in Wisconsin. So when we come back, I thought we would go through what this author included
Okay.
for the 12 Days of Wisconsin Christmas. I will not keep you in suspense. There is zero overlap.
Really?
Zero
All
overlap
right.
with what they put in their book versus what I put in my song. So once again, stay with us. We'll tell you what's in this version after this.
You're listening to the Spanning the State Holiday Special, brought to you by Heiser Automotive. If you missed this,
How was your time at the Vietnam Wall?
Very touching. I know 11 people on that wall. We had a chance to look up some of them on there. It was very, very moving experience for me. I held it together, though. I could feel the floodgates tried to open a couple of times.
or this,
President and CEO of Special Olympics Wisconsin, Chad Hirschner, joins us live in studio.
This is a place where they belong, they feel comfortable, they make friends, they learn to become leaders.
check out Wisconsin's Afternoon News, the podcast.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time AccuNet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick AccuNet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
It's almost go time, Christmas shoppers. So if you're feeling the crunch, check out Fleet Farm for hot last-minute deals. Keep your feast tasty with a Nesco 18-quart roaster, now just $59.99. Keep your loved ones toasty with Milwaukee heated apparel and get a free battery pack with purchase. Speaking of cozy, get a portable buddy heater with fuel filter for only $69.99. Wrap up your holiday shopping now at Fleet Farm, home of the best prices guaranteed.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Welcome back to Spanning the State Christmas Eve. We heard Kristen regale us with her rendition of a Wisconsin 12 Days of Christmas. And now we have a children's book. And you said no suspense, that there was no overlap. I think that built more suspense.
Oh, okay.
Because now we had your 12, and now we have a children's book of the Wisconsin 12 Days of Christmas.
So the book is from Erin Eider Kono.
Okay, Erin, thank you.
So credit to her. All right. First
Are you
day.
going to sing it?
No, absolutely not. A robin in a sugar maple tree. So it's Wisconsin state bird.
Sure.
And our tree.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
The state tree is a sugar maple tree.
All right.
All right.
On the first.
Day 2.
Yes.
Roving ducks.
Okay.
In Wisconsin Dells.
Yes. Oh, those ducks.
Those ducks, not real ducks.
I was going to say, I have ducks.
The ducks you can ride on.
Nice. Okay.
Not the ducks that my mom illegally feeds. DNR, please don't come after her. All right. On the third day, huge fish.
Generic huge fish.
So sturgeon, sturgeon who can, according to this book, live to be 150 years old, or can live to. All right, 4 pouncing pups. The American Water Spaniel is the only dog breed native to Wisconsin.
Is that okay?
There you go.
See, I'm glad it comes with the explanations.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm like, dogs are universal.
So because in the original, so day 5, 5 golden rings. So it's the same one, this one, but it's a tribute to the Circus World Museum in Baraboo.
Okay.
So the circus performers and their rings and the ringmaster,
Right.
etc. So
Okay.
kind of cheating, but sure, it still attributes to Baraboo, Wisconsin. All right.
No hate on
On
Christmas
the
Eve.
6th day, 6 roadside giants.
Oh, like the mashed potato thing.
The
and
mashed potato
fish
thing.
and
The this one has the biggest cow. Then up in Hayward, there's obviously the giant fish. So yeah, all of the Wisconsin roadside attractions of giant statues.
I like that.
Of things.
And kids love giant things, so this makes sense.
All right, day 7, 7 planes of swooping.
Oh, for EAA in Oshkosh,
There's
of
famous
course.
air show in Oshkosh. So that one's pretty good.
I saw a guy the other night, just sidebar, who I used to work with, and he's at EAA every year. He's like, oh, I'll come and talk to you guys next year.
There you go.
So we have an interview already lined up.
Perfect. All right, day 8.
What?
8 cranes a whooping.
We cannot escape the whooping
These sandhill
cranes.
cranes.
We cannot escape them.
But here's a fun fact. Baby cranes had no adults to teach them to migrate south, so the scientists dressed up in white suits and pretended to be mama birds. They taught the whoopers to follow them from Wisconsin to Florida. This is when they almost went extinct.
Like on a bus? How did they?
This is a children's book. There's not a lot of detail. It's not a Wikipedia page.
No, I think that's hilarious.
All right, day 9. 9 snowmobilers.
Self-explanatory.
Yep. Hopefully we have more this year than we did last year. But yeah, World Championship Snowmobile Derby each year in Eagle River.
Okay.
100 miles per hour.
Is that right?
You could not pay me to get on a snowmobile and go 100 miles per hour. I don't even want to go in a car 100 miles per hour.
I do that, but not a snowmobile. We got stuck in the middle of a lake on a snowmobile once. We had gone on a little ski trip. This is when I was young, and I had 2 brothers at that time. And my dad got a snowmobile with one of those. It was an old carriage on the back, so he could pull the family. And they had said, "Don't go out there." And he went out on the lake, and we got stuck. And then there was panic, and they had the place we were staying had to send rescuers to get us. And I was like, now looking back, was this a nefarious plot by my father? I don't know. Merry Christmas to everybody.
All right, back to the book. All right, day 10. 10 badgers snoozing.
Got
that one's pretty
that
obvious.
was
Obviously,
easy.
we are the Badger State. All right, day 11. 11 Sundays melting.
Ice cream sundaes. What's the tie-in with ice cream sundaes in Wisconsin?
Wisconsin takes ice cream along with cheese, butter, and yogurt very seriously because we are
the dairy
America's
state.
Dairyland. Yes. All right, last one.
12.
Birch bark baskets.
Explain.
Native Americans have been making birch baskets in Wisconsin for hundreds of years. They were once used to gather foods like maple sap and wild rice. Today, more Native American tribes still live in Wisconsin than any other place east of the Mississippi.
Wow. Now, I can see that being a very
This is much
nice
more educational than mine.
Yes.
Like, this is why this is a children's book, that you can learn more about the state versus all the different booze we drink at Christmas, which I feel like mine was really heavy on.
Booze and unusual food. But then you had biking Santas.
We had biking Santas, we had Candy Cane Lane, we had the aluminum trees.
Right.
Much more educational in this one.
Yeah, but again, some of these were a stretch. I like it. I think it's a great children's
everything was
book.
very Wisconsin, but I would say when
Yeah.
I first read through the book without getting to the last page that it has the explainer, like 5 Golden Rings, you're like, that's just the original lyric.
Yeah, that's lazy talk. But that,
It is very
when
cute,
it ties into Baraboo, that makes sense.
So again, the book is 12 Days of Christmas in Wisconsin by Aaron Eater, Eitter, Kono. It's very cute. It's
is.
very Wisconsin.
Now, I'll ask you one more time. You sure you don't want to sing it?
No.
As a Christmas gift to
Do
Rhea?
you want me to sing it? You heard me sing.
Yeah, but listen.
I don't think anyone
judge.
listening right now wants to ruin their Christmas by hearing me sing again.
I don't know. Rhea's raising her hand. 'Cause she's working here too, so she doesn't. She's like, my Christmas is already ruined.
All right. Well, when we come back, I want to talk about. I found this list. Speaking of 12 things.
Yes.
12 Christmas movies that you didn't know were actually Christmas movies.
Okay.
We'll see which ones you agree with and which ones you're like, no, no way. So stay with us on the special edition of Christmas Eve on Spanning the State.
You're listening to the Spanning the State Holiday Special, brought to you by Heiser Automotive.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit Froedtert.com/cancer.
By now, you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semper Fi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Welcome back to Christmas Eve on Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry. And Brian, I thought this would be a fun list to go through and get your reaction, because I feel like you have strong feelings about movies, strong opinions.
I have opinions.
I found this actually a couple years ago, but it still holds up because the list is 12 classic movies you didn't realize were actually Christmas movies.
How did they come to their decision?
I don't know, because it's probably a pop culture editor who's like, I have to do something for Christmas, and I know movies, and so here we go. So the first one, I think this is a classic debate.
Yes.
Classic debate when it comes to Christmas movies. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Where do you fall on this controversial topic?
I have battled this in my mind for decades.
Oh, you've had an internal battle with
internal
this.
struggle, a moral conundrum. While I believe Die Hard, first and foremost, is an action movie, it is an action movie that takes place around Christmas. And so I would have to, after years of study and much research, I would have to agree that Die Hard is, yes, a Christmas movie.
Because I'll say the criteria they're using for this is anything that brings good cheer this season and makes your spirit merry and bright. Does Die Hard make your spirit merry and bright?
I am merry as Hans falls, and my spirit is bright when he hits the ground. So, yes.
All right, there you go.
It works.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Number 2, Edward Scissorhands.
I haven't seen Edward Scissorhands in decades.
I only recently rewatched Beetlejuice because the second one came out this year. First one's still better than the second one. But most of the movie isn't set around Christmas.
No, not at all.
But they're saying the frame narrative of the movie, an old woman telling the story of Edward Scissorhands to her granddaughter, also takes place during Christmas. So they're kind of saying the, Winona Ryder twirling dreamily in the snow, like gives very Christmas snow globe vibes. Yeah. So, all right, yay or nay?
Listen, who am I to rain on somebody's Christmas parade? If you think it's Christmas, yeah. Do I personally consider it a Christmas movie? No. But if you do, I'm not going to judge. Sit down, have some nog, watch Edward Scissorhands. No sweat on
I would rewatch it now just to rewatch it. I don't think I'm watching it because it's Christmas, though.
Yeah, no.
Same with the next one, Little Women.
Never seen it, never read it.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't see the new one?
No, Debbie and Molly have. They loved it.
It's so good.
Oh, everybody loves it. It's the Wicked of past decades.
I actually think. I mean, Wicked's really good too, but Greta Gerwig's Little Women was excellent.
I heard,
and I also like the OG one. I mean, OG for me, which was Kirsten Dunst as Joe. Who's the youngest?
You're asking the wrong guy.
I know you haven't even read it or seen it, but Kirsten Dunst is like a kid, plays the youngest daughter, and I think Winona Ryder again on this list plays Joe.
Wow, yes, she was. She and Christian Bale were in there.
And Christian Bale was in that one, too, playing the Timothée Chalamet part.
So now I know there's stuff that happens over the winter, and they're in Massachusetts. Is it Christmas?
So if there's crows, this one does not feel Christmassy to me.
Okay.
I'm going to say no for this one. Like, I love this movie. I don't think of it. It doesn't give me Christmas vibes, though.
Yeah, see, I'm. This list is a little wonky.
You're not liking it. Wait till we get to some of the other ones that are really out there. All right. The next one, I've never seen this. Carol.
Nor have I.
I don't even know.
Ria's giving us a thumbs up.
Okay. All right.
It opens during the Christmas season of 1952. Signs of the holiday are everywhere. All right. Christmas Carol.
I don't know what this movie is.
Get it? Who was in it? I don't know.
All right, we're gonna keep moving.
But it sounds like it's got more Christmas than Little Women and Edward Scissorhands in it.
How about American Psycho?
This has one Christmas scene in it when they go to Patrick Bateman's girlfriend's party.
Beyonce's Emily's Christmas party.
They go to the one party.
He gets called Mr. Grinch.
Yes, there's a lot of red throughout the movie, but not the jolly red and green like Christmassy.
Not the red we're looking for.
No, and he dresses up in a plastic suit, but it's not a snowman suit. I'm going to have to call BS on this one being put in there.
I don't
pardon
know.
My
I don't
French
know if I'm watching American Psycho to get in the Christmas spirit.
Now, I will watch Violent Night, the Christmas movie that came out last year, where
Is Chris Evans in that?
No, it's the guy who plays the sheriff on Stranger Things. David,
oh, yeah.
Something.
Mike was watching some Christmas movie last night with Chris Evans, The Rock, and the State Farm guy as Santa.
Really?
That I was like, what are we watching?
Oh,
it's
that's
an action
brand
movie.
new.
It's a Christmas action
Code S
movie.
or something. It looks really good.
He seemed into it.
Yeah,
It did not seem very Christmassy
listen,
to
if
me.
it has, it's all about the Rock is Santa's bodyguard. They're elves that are his bodyguards.
I did hear overseen like he tried to resign or something. Like
Yeah, I
he
don't-
tried to quit. I don't know.
Well, Violent Night is Santa crashes, as he does in a lot of movies. I don't know if he's drinking before he flies the sleigh. And he's very into his Nordic roots as Santa Claus. And he has a sledgehammer called Skull Crusher. Meanwhile, John Leguizamo and his gang of thugs have taken over the house of a billionaire, played by Beverly D'Angelo from Christmas Vacation. Here we go. It all ties in.
Here we go.
And one little girl has escaped from the family. She's upstairs and she has walkie-talkies talking to Santa. And oh my gosh, it's violent and bloody, and it is. Now that makes me feel merry and bright.
Well, that's
More
special
so than
for you.
more so than American Psycho.
All right, back to the list.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
The scene, I'll never forget the scene in the Grand Hall at Christmas time. That's one of the most beautiful scenes ever put to
And that's
film
what
for
the article
Christmas.
says. Brief scenes set in Hogwarts during Christmas are holiday aesthetic goals.
Yes, I would agree with that.
All right.
So I'll take that.
Another violent one. Goodfellas.
I can't remember. The only thing I can remember about Christmas in Goodfellas is after they did the hijacking, they go to a bar and everybody's talking about the stuff they bought their wives with the money that they weren't supposed to spend, and then two guys end up in a meat truck on hooks.
Is that the scene where Frosty the Snowman plays in the background?
Probably. And then it goes into yes, Johnny Roast Beef. Because he bought his wife a car. And then all of a sudden it cuts to Layla. I think it's Layla. When the guys they're finding all these guys dead who were in the heist.
All right.
So again, no.
All right, we got to take a break. Do we want to keep this list or just run through the rest right now?
Let's run through the rest.
All right, you're not feeling this. All right, the other ones on this list, About a Boy,
Never saw it.
Gremlins, which Mike maintains that he thinks that is a Christmas movie.
There was a lot of Christmas in Gremlins, so
All right.
I'll give that one.
When Harry Met Sally.
I just think of Delhi when I
Well,
think of
the final scene's New Year's Eve, so it's like it's taking place
Okay.
over.
All
yeah.
right, sure.
Batman Returns.
Yes, because that's the one with Danny DeVito as the Penguin, and all of the once again, a little dark for a Christmas movie. He snatches all the kids on Christmas or Christmas Eve.
Is that how that movie goes?
Yeah, isn't that where he takes them down into
Danny
the
DeVito
thing?
snatching kids in Batman Returns?
Isn't this the one? Am I thinking of
He's
a
like the
different
same
Batman?
size as children. What are we talking about?
No, he played the Penguin. Am I thinking about a different
No,
Batman?
he definitely did play the Penguin, but I don't remember kids being involved.
Yeah, it was snatching all the kids, taking them down to the
Snatching is quite the
snatching
word.
children, taking them down into
All right,
this
let's keep
underground
going. The
lair.
Godfather.
Listen.
Again, there's Christmas in the movie.
Sure, but it's Marlon Brando in the hospital after somebody who's going to try to assassinate him on Christmas.
And this is the honorable mention. It's a Wonderful Life. And this is the argument. This movie is sort of the opposite of the phenomenon above. We think of it as a Christmas movie,
Right.
but when taken as a whole, it really isn't. Most of the film has nothing to do with the holidays. It's about a young man growing up and finding joy in a life unlike the one he had dreamed of for himself. It's really only the fact that the final scenes take place on Christmas Eve that secures its place as a holiday film. In fact, it was first released on January 7th of 1947, well after when most folks had celebrated Christmas.
Well, I'm going to take umbrage with this.
With that one?
Yes, because it is 100% a Christmas movie. There's the Christmas tree, the angel.
The angel gets its
wings. He's screaming, "Hey, Merry Christmas, old storm! Merry Christmas!" It's running down the street. 100% a Christmas movie.
All right.
100%.
All right, let us know what you think. 855-616-1620. What's your favorite not traditional Christmas movie? And we'll be back after this.
You're listening to the Spanning the State Holiday Special, brought to you by Heiser Automotive.
This holiday season, give the gift of a smile with Community Smiles Dental, a nonprofit dental clinic helping kids on state insurance in southeastern Wisconsin get the compassionate care they deserve. For just $55, you can cover a child's dental exam and care, a small price for a healthy smile and a stronger community. Donate to the Smiles for the Season campaign, sponsored by First Business Bank at communitysmiles.org. Everyone deserves a healthy smile. Make your gift today at communitysmiles.org.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
The holiday shopping season is here. WTMJ's John Merck here. I've got a great idea for you. Gift cards from the historic Fox and Hounds, voted the best supper club in the area, make perfect holiday gifts. I was just talking to a coworker today who was at the Fox and Hounds last week, said it was fantastic. It was spectacular. And if you buy a $100 gift card, you get a $20 gift card free. Buy $250, get $50 free. Buy $500, get $125 free. With the buy one dinner, get one free offer, when you buy one gift card, it's like getting a second gift card for free. So gift cards for your loyal employees and clients make wonderful holiday gifts, and your company will save hundreds of dollars. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Book your company party at the Fox and Hounds in December or January. Half of your employees' dinners are free. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. It is gorgeous at the holidays. The holiday lights and decorations are absolutely magical. Enjoy your free dinner tonight at Fox and Hounds.
The holiday season is a magical time of year to visit Lake Geneva. Embark on an enchanting Santa cruise on the lake. Take in a parade of trees and marvel at the world's tallest glass tree, built before your very eyes. Enjoy holiday shopping in a historic downtown. Chill out with festive food and libations in an igloo under the stars. Or find adventure on a zipline, ski hill, or snow-covered nature trail. Make Lake Geneva your place for holiday fun this year. Check out visitlakegeneva.com today for all the festive details.
Ho, 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 it is spanning the state, Christmas Eve. Welcome, I'm Brian Noonan.
And I'm Kristen Bry.
And has your family's Christmases always gone smoothly?
No.
All right. Good. I thought I was the only one.
No. The one that I don't remember this, but my mom tells this story because when in our house in Madison that I grew up in was a pretty steep driveway.
Okay.
And my brother used to always get sick, like every year. Every year was sick on Christmas.
Really?
Yeah. Usually throwing up almost like clockwork. And I think it had happened that year. And we did the Christmas Kids Mass at Queen of Peace in Madison. And then that night, I think he got sick. And then on Christmas morning, we would wake up and drive to Rapids.
Okay.
So we wake up Christmas morning, Ben's sick. I think I'm really young. And for some reason, they were parked. And this would have been before they did an addition to the house, and then we ended up having a two-car garage. But originally, it was a one-car garage. So the minivan as the second car was parked behind my dad's car, because that was the car that we obviously were all packing into to drive up north. And so it was parked on our steep driveway as we're packing the cars, like all the bags up. My parents are packing us as kids up. My brother's throwing up. They're like, he's holding a bucket to make the ride. Instead of just calling it. That's what I always say. It's like, if at this point, like, just say, we're not coming. Yeah. Sorry. But, again, people pleaser, family, whatever. So
it's Christmas. We have to be there.
The old school, and now the sliding doors on minivans, like there's like remote controlled. You can do it from your little clicker on your keys.
Right. Fancy.
In the late 80s, early 90s, not so much. So my mom goes to open the side passenger door of the minivan while the incline of the car, and the door just comes straight off the car. Straight off the car. And I now being an adult, knowing my parents and how they handle stressful situations, I can only imagine how many curse words were yelled by my mother. And still we're like, we're going.
What?
They still didn't call it and be like, call grandma, call your mom, be like, we can't. There's too many comedy of errors going on. We got to call it.
Yeah, this Christmas was not meant to be.
And yet what'd they do?
Garbage bag over the hole?
Well, wasn't a hole.
The whole door. I mean, the door.
No, because they managed to lift the door and put it back on the runner
rail,
or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the mechanism was that was broken, but of course we're sitting in the back. Yeah. And what's their solution?
I don't know.
Duct tape.
They duct taped the door closed?
They duct taped the door, and I'm sure that entire drive, that's about 2 hours from Madison to Wisconsin Rapids, were just crossing their fingers that door didn't fly open with there's two small children in the back.
Especially one who has a bucket of vomit. Wow. See?
So that is, they made Christmas happen that year, and I'm sure everyone was, I don't know, maybe, my grandma died when I was only 6. So
it wasn't from this incident.
It was not from this incident.
Thank God.
But I have to imagine that maybe even she was like, Debbie, just why?
Yeah.
You didn't have to force it.
Oh my. Well, that was part of the reason we always had Christmas at our house, because my parents were like, we can't possibly pack all these lunatics
children,
up.
Yes.
So it was more work for my mom to get us all ready and pack us up than it was to invite the entire family over and cook dinner.
Yeah. I
can't
promise
imagine
you,
being your dad just going,
just white knuckling.
Oh yeah, because you hit a bump, a strong gust of wind. Suddenly you're holding onto the door and you're flying down the. Oh, geez.
I'm sure there's some other part of the story where it's like I, as like a 3-year-old, and like sobbing in the background because my brother hit me or something like that. Just really added to the chaos.
He got vomit on me. That is wow.
I don't know if we'll ever top that. I really don't want to.
I was going to say, don't. That's when you just go, all right, that's the winner. We're never going to try to even break that record.
To have anything crazier than that.
All right, when we come back, we're going to change it up a little bit and go with a classic Christmas memory that I remember hearing when I was very young and always loving it. And it really does answer a question that soon Frankie might be asking, or maybe some of your kids are asking this year. When we come back, we will hear the classic Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus on Spanning the State.
You're listening to the Spanning the State Holiday Special, brought to you by Heiser Automotive.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
There was an incident on Blue Mountain Road going eastbound where 2 lanes are blocked.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, at the Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
Hi, Debbie, Michael. I-94 eastbound, there is a crash that the sheriff now has the right lane blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time AccuNet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick AccuNet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
There are a lot of benefits to having Less's Glass install your new all-glass shower enclosure. The first of them is that when you have Less's Glass on your job, you can be assured that our nearly 40 years of experience is going to leave you satisfied. There are few companies out there as seasoned as ours is, and that really matters. As for the benefits of an all-glass shower enclosure, we're talking about an investment that lasts, that will add a whole new dimension to your bathroom. And the clean-cut lines of a frameless all-glass shower enclosure really make your bathroom color choices pop against the brightness of the glass. And with virtually no metal framework, maintenance is easy. They're simple to clean, you won't have to worry about any rusting, and you'll up the wow value of your bathroom and your home. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
In 1897, Dr. Philip O'Hanlon, coroner's assistant on Manhattan's Upper West Side, was asked a question by his then 8-year-old daughter, Virginia, which many a parent has been asked before, whether Santa Claus really exists. O'Hanlon deferred. He suggested Virginia wrote asking the question to one of New York's most prominent newspapers at the time, The Sun, assuring her that, quote, "If you see it in the sun, it's so."
Dear editor, I am 8 years old. Some of my little friends say there is no Santa Claus. Papa says, if you see it in the sun, it's so. Please tell me the truth. Is there a Santa Claus?
The response to Virginia's letter by one of the paper's editors, Francis Purcell's Church, remains the most reprinted editorial ever to run in any newspaper in the English language, and found itself the subject of books, a film, and television series. In his response, Church goes beyond a simple yes, of course, to explore the philosophical issues behind Virginia's request to tell her the truth, and in the process lampoon a certain skepticism which he found rife in American society since the suffering of the Civil War. His message, in short, there is a reality beyond the visible.
Ho, 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 ho. Virginia, your little friends are wrong. They have been affected by the skepticism of a skeptical age. They do not believe except they see. They think that nothing can be which is not comprehensible by their little minds. All minds, Virginia, whether they be men's or children's, are little. In this great universe of ours, man is a mere insect, an ant in his intellect, as compared with the boundless world around him, as measured by the intelligence capable of grasping the whole of truth and knowledge. Not believe in Santa Claus. You might as well not believe in fairies. You might get your papa to hire men to watch in all the chimneys on Christmas Eve to catch Santa Claus, but even if they did not see Santa Claus coming down, what would that prove? Nobody sees Santa Claus, but that is no sign that there is no Santa Claus. The most real things in the world are those that neither children nor men can see. Did you ever see fairies dancing on the lawn? Of course not. But there's no proof that they are not there. Nobody can conceive or imagine all the wonders there are unseen and unseeable in this world. You may tear apart the baby's rattle and see what makes the noise inside. But there is a veil covering the unseen world which not the strongest man, nor even the united strength of all the strongest men that ever lived could tear apart. Only faith, fancy, poetry, love, romance can push aside that curtain and view and picture the supernal beauty and glory beyond. Is it all real? Ah, Virginia, in all this world, there is nothing else real and abiding. No Santa Claus. Thank God he lives, and he lives forever. 1,000 years from now, Virginia, nay, 10 times 10,000 years from now, he will continue to make glad the heart of childhood.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
You're listening to the Spanning the State Holiday Special, brought to you by Heiser Automotive.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
This holiday season, the Salvation Army needs your help. Bell ringers are working hard, and our service depends on generous donations like yours. Every dollar donated helps us provide meals, shelter, and emergency support to families in crisis, not just at Christmas, but all year long. From immediate need to long-term care, your donation can create lasting change in our communities. Join us in making a difference. Volunteer as a bell ringer or donate today. Visit salvationarmywi.org to learn how you can help.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
Whether you get pulled over or get into a crash, drinking and driving will change your whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 2:02, it's 35 degrees in Milwaukee. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 28. Tomorrow, on Christmas, mostly cloudy, a high of 39. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Ty. American Airlines is back in the air after a ground stop early this morning. Now we know what caused it. ABC's Dave Packer with the update.
American Airlines blamed a vendor issue for the approximately 1-hour ground stop between 7 and 8 a.m. Eastern Time today. Flight dispatch paperwork given to pilots before flights was not available to be produced for about an hour. Included in that paperwork, weight and balance information, passenger numbers, and fuel requirements. The issue has been resolved, but it's expected there will be ripple effect delays in American's schedule throughout the day. Dave Packer, ABC News.
American Airlines flies in and out of a number of airports here in Wisconsin, including Mitchell Airport in Milwaukee, the Green Bay Airport, and the Dane County Airport. Well, it was supposed to mark the first major expansion of the federal judiciary in decades, but President Biden vetoed the bill last night. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has the details.
The measure would create dozens of new judgeships in federal districts all across the country. Out of concern of a backlog of cases in the courts, the measure was passed by a bipartisan Senate majority over the summer with the White House's support. In the wake of the election, it passed the GOP-controlled House. President Biden's decision to reverse course and veto the bill deprives President-elect Trump of the opportunity to fill 66 newly created vacancies on the federal bench.
Here locally, a former fire chief pleads guilty to credit card fraud.
Former Ripon Fire Chief Timothy Saul used his fire department's credit card for over $30,000 of personal purchases between 2016 and 2022. Investigation shows Saul did pay off the balance with his own money and did not use any public funds. In an apology statement, Saul says, quote, "I acknowledge that by using the credit card to help myself out of my own financial struggles, I created an environment that could have put the public and the district at risk," unquote. Saul must pay a total of $3,000 for 3 counts of credit card fraud. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A lawmaker credited for keeping baseball in Wisconsin has died. Former Wisconsin State Senator George Petak passed away. Senior advisor for Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce, Tim Sheehy, says Petak leaves behind a legacy of service.
He always wanted to do what was right. And I would say that whether he voted for or against Miller Park. But without Senator Petak's courageous vote at 4:45 in the morning, I doubt very much whether we would have baseball in Wisconsin.
Petak cast a vote that secured public funding for what's now American Family Field. In doing so, Petak was recalled from office. Time for news about your money. Here's the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. U.S. markets closed early, but up on this Christmas Eve. The Dow Jones finished up 390 points. S&P 500 gained 66 points, and the NASDAQ was up 266 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Stay close. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:05.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together, we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, Propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Manchke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richlands Tire and Service Centers.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. A big win for the Packers up at Lambeau last night.
Touchdown, Wicks wide open. Green Bay takes the early lead. Touchdown, Jacobs. Here's a handoff for the touchdown to Chris Brooks.
Touchdown after touchdown. What a game. Green Bay securing a place in the playoffs with a 34-0 win over the Saints. Up next for the Pack, an away game Sunday afternoon against the Minnesota Vikings. Kickoff is 3:25. In Chicago, the Bucks defeated the Bulls 112-91 last night. They take on the Brooklyn Nets Thursday night right here in Milwaukee. And taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Guess what? Nothing. We've got nothing out there, everybody. No crashes. Not even a disabled vehicle being reported on the system. How fantastic is that on this Christmas Eve? We'll take it. And here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today on Christmas Eve, mostly cloudy. Tonight we'll dip down to 28. Tomorrow for Christmas, it's a mild Christmas, mostly cloudy, high of 39. Thursday starts our chances for rain. We have a slight chance for rain on Thursday, cloudy otherwise, high of 43. Friday, rain is likely, cloudy otherwise, high of 47. Saturday, another chance for rain, so keep those umbrellas handy. But our temps, they're going to go up. We have a high of 50 on Saturday. On Sunday, another slight chance for rain, high of 48. It is currently 30 degrees in Waukesha, 35 in Milwaukee, and -1 at the North Pole. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm Jessica Ty. Saudi Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:09.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
It's Christmas Eve, and it's time to spin around the North Pole and uncover the stories in and around Santa's secret workshop. It's Spinning Around the North Pole. And here's Santa's favorite elves, Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
It is a very special Spinning the State today. It's not Spinning the State. We are spinning the North Pole because it is Christmas Eve, but still the rules are the same. If you miss anything, just text SPIN to 855-616-1620. All right, Kristen, this is very exciting. Are you ready? Let's spin it.
Can't wait.
Apat Island.
I did not know this was a place, but here we go. All right, it's been a long, cold wait. But after centuries of feeling like self-described misfits, the residents of Appet Island will finally have a home. Despite being thought to be uninhabited, the island is home to a small and unique tribe that has been fighting for acceptance from the North Pole. The struggle for acceptance has been hindered by prejudice within the elf community, the major voting bloc in the North Pole. Even though the elves have known the island's inhabitants since their creation, the elves have deemed them, quote, damaged, unlovable, and unfit for inclusion. Wow, harsh. I didn't know elves were that discriminatory.
Elves don't play.
All right. Under new leadership, the Elf Coalition, led by North Pole dentist Hermie T. Elf, has finally listened to the pleas from the island residents and are welcoming them back to the North Pole. Quote, "We were wrong," Hermie said. Quote, "It is now time to correct the mistakes of our elfin forefathers and do the right thing, which is to share our joy with the residents of the island," end quote. Reached for comment by the Greenland Monitor, island spokesperson Charlie in the Box said, quote, "All the residents of the island are elated to finally be recognized. I have dreamed of this day since I was young. I speak on behalf of all the residents of the island and our benevolent ruler, King Moonrazer, when I say this is a decision that was a long time coming. We were never misfits," end quote. Wow. Do they have a name? Are they the Apatians?
No, they're just
inhabitants of this island.
just inhabitants of this
elves
island.
Did not like
Didn't
them.
like them. Thought they were misfits. It's like a whole island of misfits.
Are they toys?
I don't know.
Were they toys?
Could be toys. I don't know. Charlie in the Box is kind of a unique name for someone, but what are you going to do? So that's good. I'm glad the elves have welcomed them in. It should be inclusive at the North Pole, isn't
Elves, we said they're a little mischievous, not the nicest.
That's because they're so tiny. Imagine being, well, you and I are both tall. Imagine being that tiny. That would be horrible.
A lot of Napoleon complex up there.
Yes. All right, let's spin it again, shall we?
Ellesmere Island.
Oh, this is a feel-good story from the North Pole. A North Pole resident who was adopted at birth has returned home after completing a journey of self-discovery. He brings with him a distinct honor. B. Elf, a native New Yorker who was raised by Santa's master cobbler in the North Pole, is now a best-selling author and Newbery Award Children's Book Award winner. Mr. Elf left the North Pole to find his biological father after finally learning that he had been adopted. His father, Papa Elf, told the North Pole Clarion, quote, "I finally had to level with my son. It was a difficult decision for me, but it was beginning to become obvious to him that he was different. We're a diminutive family, and my son is 6'5". Plus, he has no toy-making aptitude," end quote. In what B. Elf calls a perilous journey through the 7 levels of the candy cane forest, past the sea of swirly-twirly gumdrops, and finally navigating the Lincoln Tunnel, he was able to locate his biological father. His father, Walter Hobbs, was in the publishing business with a family of his own. The reunion, unfortunately, was troubled, but B endeared himself to Walter's family, found love, and with skills he learned from Papa Elf, helped Santa fix his downed sleigh in Central Park. That sounds like a lot of things were happening to him. Yes. Well, it's also quoted here is that he quite literally saved Christmas, which is a big undertaking. Walter and B then collaborated on a book about B's life and journey that became a critical and popular success. B, or as his friends call him, Buddy, returned to the North Pole with his wife and daughter and is working on his second book, tentatively titled Yes, I Can Reach the Top Shelf.
What a great story. I feel like I've heard this story before.
Well, do you have a subscription to the North Pole Clarion?
I let that one lapse.
Okay, and you know what? We've asked our boss to keep our newspaper subscriptions up here at the office, and he's busy, as, management should be, so he has kind of let those slip as well. Yeah. But I was able to get... I paid for my own subscription at home, and that's how I was able to research this story.
Cutting edge news in the North Pole.
There's a lot going on between there and the Greenland Monitor. I can't... Listen.
Is there a third one?
But you never know. You never know what newspaper you're going to read. I try to... Kristen, for this show, I like to...
Hound, some might call you.
What? I'm a news hound. I'm all kind of hound.
Hound dog. Ain't nothing but.
Exactly. I'm going to try it one more time. See, there we go. A little Elvis. See, Rhea didn't even get that one. She's looking at me again. What was that? That was Elvis. You may have heard of him. He was the big
deal.
Yeah, he was a big deal back in the day. One time he was a very, very big deal. There seems to be a lot of, for the North Pole seeming as beautiful and kind as we've heard, there seems to be a lot of intrigue and drama up there.
Yeah.
We've got surprise adoptions. We've got people leaving to find themselves.
Prejudicial elves?
Yes, we've got, racist elves, or, just the whole thing. The whole place
All right,
doesn't
let's
seem as nice.
Do you think the last story, more doom and gloom?
Listen,
or more Christmas cheer?
I'm going to be honest with you. I found some stories that I could not put in this Christmas Eve edition because some were tragic. There was one about a beloved snowman who met a horrible greenhouse accident. I didn't even bother with that story. That was too much. Just too much.
Too much on a holiday.
Oh, my
Too
God.
much.
Fratricide almost between a hot brother and a cold brother and their mom. I left all those out. I left the bad stories out. I tried to find the most uplifting stories from the North Pole.
All
So
right,
let's spin it again.
Let's spin it again.
North Pole.
Oh, we're actually at the North Pole now, just not close proximity to the North Pole. All right. Teen years can be rough for anyone, even a reindeer trying to find their way onto an elite team. Bullies love mocking someone's talents, abilities, and appearance. If you're living under the shadow of a famous parent, it can be even worse. That was the case for Rudolph, the only son of Donner, one of Santa's elite flying team. Born with an abnormality that caused his nose to glow a bright light, Rudolph was an object of ridicule. In an effort to make his son fit in, Donner forced Rudolph to wear a disguise on his shiny snout. All of the other reindeer laughed and called him names. They never let Rudolph join in any of their games. Despondent, Rudolph ran away and began traveling with an old prospector and a future politician. After months of therapy, coming to terms with the bullying he endured, and the successful evasion of a bumble, Rudolph returned home. Only then was his true talent appreciated by his former tormentors. Local philanthropist Kris Kringle, known to some as Santa Claus, was on the verge of canceling his annual worldwide gift delivery due to bad weather. Remembering the young deer that he had scorned earlier, Santa asked Rudolph to not only join the sleigh pulling team, but to lead it. Rudolph did lead the team, and after a rough beginning, is sure to go down in history.
Or history.
History.
You put a nice lilt on that story. It started out rough again with some bullying and shame, but
It's a redemption arc.
Right? That's a whole thing. I mean, poor reindeer starts off his own father trying to disfigure him, and then
Like ashamed.
I'm the only thing I worry about is this traveling with an old prospector and a future politician. That seems like a weird trio to be out. So I don't know.
I wonder if they ran into any kind of like abominable creatures while they were out there.
I think that's the Bumble that they evaded.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Bumbles bounce. I learned that through more research too. So I know this was more from like a press release from the North Pole.
Oh, so there's some spin on it.
Because Rudolph has now a PR team, Mistletoe events. So so that all happened through that. That's why I didn't quote
People
another
can say
news
they knew
outlet.
when.
Huh?
People can just say they knew him when.
They can. They can. And I hope he turns and flips him a hoof. If you used to bully me, here's a little something for you. Merry Christmas.
You filthy animals.
You filthy-
All right, that has been Spinning Around the North Pole.
If you missed any of it, text SPIN to 855-616-1620. The Christmas Eve adventure continues after this on Spanning the State.
You're listening to the Spanning the State Holiday Special, brought to you by Heiser Automotive.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Higginson, Saturday afternoon at 2. Tune in each week as John exposes industry myths for truth seekers looking to navigate their way to financial freedom. What he reveals may surprise you. To learn more about the show and how creative planning can help you build a custom financial plan and portfolio tailored to you and your goals, visit creativeplanning.com/radio. Don't settle for outdated advice. Your money deserves better, and so do you.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
When you say Hassellus Mattress is employee-free, you don't really mean it, right?
Of course we mean it. At Hassellus, give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy.
Why no employees?
To save you money.
How much money?
Well, others sell a Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove B Queen mattress for $16.50, but the everyday Hassellus price is just $8.42. We have way low pricing on Serta Perfect Sleeper and Sealy Posturepedic too.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Plus, through Monday, purchase a select Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper in any size, and Hassellus will give you a free adjustable base.
That's even better.
Free next day delivery, free removal and setup of your new mattress, and free financing is available too.
And this is all because your showrooms are employee-free?
Yes, sir.
I like the way you do business.
Open 9 to 9. Get all the details and find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassellus.com. Hassellus, employee-free since 2014.
The holiday season is a magical time of year to visit Lake Geneva. Embark on an enchanting Santa cruise on the lake. Take in a parade of trees and marvel at the world's tallest glass tree, built before your very eyes. Enjoy holiday shopping in a historic downtown. Chill out with festive food and libations in an igloo under the stars. Or find adventure on a zipline, ski hill, or snow-covered nature trail. Make Lake Geneva your place for holiday fun this year. Check out visitlakegeneva.com today for all the festive details.
Hi, this is Spanning the State, and I'm producer Rhea. I get to press and push all the fancy buttons that brings the show to your radio. Anyway, if you're like me, you may not have known that Hanukkah falls on Christmas Day this year. So, in honor of the celebration, we would like to share with you the reading of the story of Hanukkah. It's been adapted by Jeremy Frank and is narrated by Peter Jacobson. Enjoy!
Long ago in the land of Israel, in the center of the walled city of Jerusalem, there stood a beautiful temple. Outside of Israel, though, there lived a very wicked man named Antiochus, the king of Syria. The king did not like people who had beliefs different than his own, and so he went around the world forcing his religion on all the people he conquered. When Antiochus and his army invaded Israel and took it over, he decreed that only his gods could be worshipped. He made the Jews swear that they would give up their religion and customs and follow his instead. He also commanded that all of the Jewish temples be converted or destroyed, including the beautiful one in Jerusalem. Those who refused to follow Antiochus' commands were to be severely punished. Some Jews obeyed Antiochus out of fear, but others were brave enough to refuse. Judah Maccabee was one such man. Judah and his brothers were all strong fighters who formed an army of their own to fight King Antiochus and his men. Although they were greatly outnumbered, the Maccabees fought the Syrian army with all their might. With the strength that only comes from fighting for something you truly believe in, Judah and the Maccabees defeated Antiochus and his army and triumphantly reclaimed the temple in Jerusalem. However, when they entered the temple for the first time, they were shocked to see it in shambles. The golden pitchers were all tarnished, the marble floors were cracked, and there was no oil to light the menorah. They began cleaning the temple, removing every sign and symbol of the religion that had been forced upon them by their invaders. As they worked, they found a small container of oil. They all knew the little oil they had would only be enough for one night, but then a miracle took place. Instead of going out, the lamps kept burning and burning. They burned for 8 days and 8 nights, and this way the Maccabees knew God was with them. That is why we celebrate Hanukkah every year, and why we light 8 candles in our menorahs. The end.
You're listening to the Spanning the State Holiday Special, brought to you by Heiser Automotive.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Numbness, tingling in the hands, arms, legs, feet. Time to go see Dr. Alex Young and my team at Connect Chiropractic. Regular chiropractic care can bring life-changing results for folks who suffer from neuropathy and fibromyalgia, nervous system issues that can be corrected. And no worries about twisting, cracking, or popping. The docs at Connect Chiro use all the same method, a special tool that is pain-free and effective for your adjustments. Visit them in Delafield and Wauwatosa or get started online at GoConnectChiro.com.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Here it is, just before the holidays. You're sitting around trying to figure out a perfect last-minute gift that you can order quickly online. Well, how about tickets to the Greater Milwaukee Auto Show in February? Buy a single ticket for a friend, a pair of tickets for date night, or buy a family 4-pack and take everybody all at a discount price of just $11 each. They can see all the latest vehicles, including cars, trucks, and the latest EVs. For advanced tickets, go to AutoShowMilwaukee.com. That's AutoShowMilwaukee.com. Discount offer ends on December 24th.
Spanning the State, Christmas Eve edition. I am Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan. Now, Frankie is only a little over 1, so she's not anticipating.
She wants nothing to do with Santa.
Nothing to do with Santa.
Not interested.
Well, that's good for this year. By next year, Santa will be a big thing. For a lot of households tonight, this is the culmination of a month of little kids going, "What is Christmas? What is Christmas? What is Christmas?" My buddy's 4-year-old, when he found out it was December, this is a true story. He made the 4 people in the family put their fists in and count down 1, 2, 3. Christmas has begun. So that is a true story. And so
1, 2, 3 team break.
Yes. So kids are ready. They're ready. And tonight it all amps up. And we know that in the past it was hard to keep track of where Santa was going. But now, in our age of high tech, it's not that way. You know that.
I know.
You can go to NORAD, which is the North American Aerospace Defense Command.
But they've been doing this for a lot longer than the internet's been around. They've been doing this since the 50s.
Well, that's why you could get the reports on the radio, or they'd say TV, it's 6 o'clock here in Milwaukee. Where's Santa? Oh, Santa is now over Greenland, and he's coming. And I'm like, oh, Santa's coming. I know him. Which will actually come to fruition in a few minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
But, do you want to tell the history of this?
So this is what the legend is, at least. So according to legend, in 1955, which is actually the year my parents were born, an ad
Coincidence?
An ad in a Colorado Springs newspaper invited children to call Santa, but inadvertently listed the phone number for the Continental Air Defense Command, which is NORAD's predecessor, which was also based in Colorado Springs.
If you're going to give the wrong number, do you want to give the number of the guys who have the nuclear codes?
But that's the thing that's wild about this urban legend, if this is actually true. It's like, that's the number, and they actually picked up the phone because officers played along. That's like, this is how it went. And then since then, NORAD tracks Santa.
Yeah. Kids are going, now they're on their iPads or their phones or their parents' stuff, and they're it. So when does this all go live? Because, well, it went live December 1st. But much like the Bear Cam that I watch, not a lot happening during the off season. So
I was going to say nothing's happening on the Bear Cam.
Nothing's happening on the Bear Cam.
That's hibernation mode right now.
No, it's just a barren, desolate.
You're so sad.
I am sad. Boy, it's
my bears.
Too much sadness. I don't get to see the bears. They're all sleeping. But it features Santa's North Pole Village. Right now, there you could watch a holiday countdown. You can play games, hear music. It's available in 9 languages: English, French, Spanish, German, Italian, Japanese, Portuguese, Chinese, and Korean. So all the kids can do it. There's a NORAD Track Santa app that's available. The tracker's available on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X. Don't send your kids to X to deal with Santa. That's the antithesis of holiday joy. So send them somewhere else. You can also call 1-877-HI-NORAD on today, Christmas Eve, and you can ask a live operator about Santa's location.
That is
I
think
a lot
of
I might do
dedication
that.
to
That is.
the children who are invested in tracking Santa.
I just figured as long as he showed up in the morning, I was good. I didn't need to keep. I didn't
Did
need
you
to
ever
keep
leave
track.
any foot tracks?
No, that came.
Did you eat the cookies?
The cookies were always gone. My dad had a horrible sweet tooth.
Did you leave anything for the reindeer?
Yes, and sometimes Santa's in a hurry, right? When he comes to your house, he's behind. So sometimes parents have to help out with that kind of thing. Yeah. And for many years, I could be seen in the wee hours of Christmas morning standing on my lawn spitting half-chewed carrots out all over the grass so that in the morning it would appear. Because sometimes, how many carrots can a reindeer eat in a night?
True.
So they get to a certain spot and they're just done.
They're not interested in the carrots anymore.
So that's
All right,
what I got to
when we
help
come back,
out.
We're going to have a very special guest.
Yes, we don't need to track Santa because we have his number.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
If affordable home decor is what you've been looking for, look no further, because we're happy to show you just how easily glass can turn up the wow value of your home. Take those old kitchen cabinet doors. You pull the cabinet doors off their hinges, mill out the center, and we'll replace it with glass. It could have a design, or we could use plain glass for a simple metro look. We can design any look you're going for, from traditional to prairie, beveled glass, even custom designs. And it doesn't stop there. Entry glass, transoms, bath mirrors, rec room mirrors? How about a rec room mirror with your personalized sports design sandblasted right on? That could be a pretty cool look. All it takes is a little outside-of-the-box thinking, and we'll help you get there. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, Propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
This is very exciting. It's Christmas Eve, but somehow we got the busiest man on the planet on the phone. Santa Claus is joining us, Kristen.
I can't believe it. I've never talked to Santa before.
Well, I've had the pleasure of speaking with Santa before. I have a direct line to the North Pole because for many years I was on the nice list. I don't know where I fall now, but Santa is still taking my call. Santa, thank you for being here. This is very exciting.
Well, it is great to visit with both of you. Oh, I suppose I should do a ho, ho, ho.
Yes.
It's weird when you have a catchphrase like that you open a conversation. You never have to worry about how do I start it. I just say ho, ho, ho. Like, I couldn't just go like, what's up, man?
I would like that, but do you ever get sick of having to use the catchphrase?
Yeah, not really. I mean, when you're only visible a couple of days out of the year and you got other guys filling in for you, and sometimes they take it a little too far, but I'll go with a ho-ho every once in a while. Doesn't bother me.
Give the people what they want. All right, Santa, I have to imagine you're getting up there in age, and so when you are preparing for the big night, are there calisthenics? Is there stretching? What do you have to do for your body to get ready for such a big night?
Well, I work on my core a lot, like when I wake up, before I even turn the lights on, I do some sit-ups and do some isometric stuff. I mean, you wouldn't know it to look at my gut. I mean, for gosh sakes. But I've got a very strong core, and that usually helps wake me up. And then I'll have like one of those energy drinks. You ever have one of those?
Sure.
It's like 8 cups of coffee in one can. I mean, why would I sit there and pound the coffee and wait for it to brew when I can chug one of these what do they call it? Like C4? Have you read C4?
I have not had C4.
Now, do you go with that because the C?
Like a popsicle.
The C for claws.
Yeah, there you go. There should be an endorsement in there.
We'll put it out to our salespeople, Santa. We'll try to get you a hookup.
You get it C for claws. Oh, man.
We got it. We got it right here. All right, Santa. So your core is good. That's help with all that. When you're taking off, because we all know sometimes you go to a new city, there's neighborhoods that are a little dicey. You have to travel the entire world. Are there areas you go, because there are good children all over, that you're like, oh, I got to go here again. This is rough.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's always been bulletproof, Brian. We've got you can't really see it, but there's sort of an invisible type of bulletproof shield over the entire thing. I mean, over the years, and you hit it on the head when you said I'm old. I mean, there were some areas in Estonia where I didn't even want to get out of the sleigh, but they've worked on that a little bit, and the law enforcement's a little bit better, but they've really, really got to pay close attention to that one.
All right, Santa. So how do you delineate between who's naughty and who's nice? Isn't everyone a little like a bit of both?
Word gets around. I mean, if you're a jerk, everybody knows it, don't they? I mean, really?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the deal. Do you ever look at like a class picture of the kids where every kid is in a little tile, and immediately your eyes go to one, you're like, all right, who's this guy? Who's that jerk right there? I can tell just by looking at him. I mean, it's pretty easy to pick out the jerks.
Oh, okay.
Now, I was wondering this, Santa, because like Kristen said, everybody's a little bit of both. Do you have a deadline for, say I'm on the naughty list, but in October, November, I really excel and I do nice things, not because I think it's Christmas time yet. Is there a deadline for me to make the switch from one list to another?
Well, Brian, that's pretty difficult because of international date lines and timeline, things like that. Like you could probably by the 23rd be pretty cool and then pull off some heinous thing that you did on Christmas Eve, and I'm already on my way, and I'm giving you like you wanted Battleship and Light Bright. I gave you all those things, but how do I know what you just did 10 minutes ago? So, yeah, I mean, the 23rd is probably, you can do whatever you want after that.
All right. Yeah. Well, so speaking of the presents that we're on, what's the biggest present you've ever had to put on the sleigh, Santa?
Boy, I'm trying to think about that. Remember those electric football games where you'd plug it in and it would just be like a vibrating thing, and the football players would. Yeah, those were pretty big back in I'd say the 50s and 60s, and I had a custom order of one of those that was actual size. And that was a little rough to be carrying over the skies from country, if you can imagine. I mean, as ridiculous as some of the things I do is, that one probably is at the top of the list.
What's the big item this year? What's the popular thing that the kids are asking you for?
I'd probably have to go to the head of the elves department and find that out. But, it's gotten a lot better. I mentioned that large thing that I'd haul around. Most of the things now are pretty small. I mean, Starbucks gift cards. I mean, when it gets down to it, I just start dropping things like that. Just because, like you say, I'm old, it's harder to lift, but you can't go wrong with a Starbucks gift card.
That's another endorsement deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever had that one? Cold nitro brew?
No, but
that'll get you going.
Between that and the C4, Santa, you are jacked up.
Yeah, my heart's racing. Probably those 2 days more than any other, and then it kind of slows down. I'm like Lance Armstrong when I'm not drinking that stuff. I'm like my heart rate's 54, which is incredible for a guy my age. But maybe that means I'm on the way out. Who knows?
It must be the core work too that keeps you going like that.
It's all genetics. I mean, how old was Jim Fixx? So he's in his 40s, right? I mean, you just don't know. You got Keith Richards is 82 years old, and Jim Fixx just drops while he's jogging. I mean, the man wrote books on fitness. Go figure.
Now, does Keith Richards just ask for cartons of cigarettes?
Yeah, so and you think, just when you think you've given him enough, you're looking at Keith. He's out of them already. What's with this guy? What does he do, eat them?
He's a miracle of science. Santa, I know you know this, but I want to check. Kristen's daughter just turned 1. Frankie is her daughter.
Yeah, of course.
I'm guessing at 1 she's on the nice list. Plans to visit the Bry house?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, sir. It's Francis, correct? I'm looking at my list
It
right
is Francis.
Yes, I know. And I'll tell you right now, she is in fact sleeping. I know that sounds kind of weird. It sounds kind of weird for me to know that, but, I see them when they're sleeping.
I was going to say, this is her nap time, so it makes sense.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, but she's been pretty good. But here's the thing, and I say this to parents of young children all the time. Sometimes we go crazy on Christmas and birthdays when they're this young, but here's the deal. You don't have to get them anything. They don't even know.
Tell my mother that.
Just don't get it.
Well, Santa,
wait till they can appreciate you and revere you.
And revere you. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we know you are busy. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate you taking some time out today. Travel safe. I'm glad Estonia is now a peaceful place. Watch out for those drones that are zipping around New York and New Jersey. I hope none of them interfere with your travels.
I love it. They used to do traffic on the ones. When does that come in?
That'll be right after we're done with our interview here. We'll do traffic on the ones.
Yeah. Well, I'll be listening because that's important to me.
All right.
Thanks, Santa.
Thanks, Santa.
You betcha. And a Merry Christmas to you. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Yes.
You're listening to the Spanning the State Holiday Special, brought to you by Heiser Automotive.
David Nason here, your trusted Fix-It-Show guy, here to give you some essential home maintenance advice. If you're dealing with leaks, stains, cracks in your basement, it's time to call the experts I trust at Accurate Basement Repair. They've fixed many of our listeners' basements, and the results were fantastic. Dry, secure, and peace of mind restored. Don't let basement issues mess up your home. Trust Accurate Basement Repair to get the job done right. Call them today.
Thanks, David. Accurate Basement Repair. We're not just good, we're accurate.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on Bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're seeking Lake Country's finest, don't miss out on the Westerly, opening this spring. Whether it's active fitness, enjoying a swim in the indoor pool, improving your handicap using our golf simulator, or hosting guests on our rooftop patio, the Westerly has you covered. Providing seniors with award-winning residences throughout Wisconsin, this locally owned and operated company is engaged and offers unmatched services. Apartment reservations are booking quickly. Call Stacy at 262-737-5501 or visit livingwesterly.com.
It's Heiser's Frozen Finale Sales Event. All remaining 2024 models must go. We have huge discounts off MSRP, low payments, and a limited supply left. It's freezing outside, but these deals are hot, hot, hot. And guess what? Our exclusive Safe and Sound program comes as our holiday gift to you. From Toyotas and Fords to Chevys, Lincolns, and Cadillacs, we have the perfect present for you and someone you love. So hurry, visit Heiser.com for all of the frosty details.
See dealer for complete details. You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true, but offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people, but the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Hi, it's me again, producer Rhea, and welcome back to Spanning the State. Up next for our special Christmas Eve show, Kristen and Brian have selected a reading of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas in Wisconsin by Joe Perry. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoy it, and happy holidays.
Far, far away at the North Pole, Santa is busy planning his Christmas Eve journey across his favorite place, Wisconsin.
From Madison to Milwaukee, from Bailey's Harbor to Racine, Santa can't wait to visit all the children on his nice list. He piles his sleigh high with a sack full of gifts, and off he goes.
As Santa soars over the Badger State, he booms, "Hello" to Sheboygan, "Merry Christmas" to Green Bay, and gives Lambeau Field a great big smile.
Suddenly, Santa spots the most important place of all. "Are you ready for me to visit your home?" he says with a hearty chuckle. It's time to leave out a glass of milk and a plate of sugar cookies, snuggle up in bed with your favorite teddy, and listen very closely.
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
You were nestled up all snug in your bed, while visions of candy canes danced in your head. And from Kenosha to Eau Claire, all across the map, children had settled down for a long winter's nap.
When out of the street there arose such a clatter, you sprang from your bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window you flew like a flash, tore open the curtains, threw open the latch.
The moon in the sky with its full winter glow shone bright as midday on Wisconsin below, when what to your wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer.
With a little old driver so lively and quick, you knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his reindeer they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen.
"Take me up to the chimney, follow my call. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all."
And then in a twinkling you heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof.
As you pulled in your head and were turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound.
He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler holding his pack.
His eyes how they twinkled, his dimples how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. He glanced at the names that he held in his fist, children in Appleton and Door County, whom were next on his list. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly.
He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and you laughed when you saw him in spite of yourself. St. Nick winked an eye and tilted his head, letting you know you had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. And tapping his finger at the side of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose.
He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But St. Nicholas exclaimed as he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas, Wisconsin, and to all a good night."
Santa's magical journey is coming to an end. He delivers the final gifts to Eagle River and Oshkosh, waves goodbye to the Dells, and laughs a jolly ho 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 for everyone to hear.
Heading back home to his cozy workshop at the North Pole, Santa hopes each child is extra good next year because he can't wait to come back to Wisconsin.
Those who don't have 20/20 vision usually do something about it. But many who can't breathe freely through their nose just live with it, not realizing they can have 20/20 breathing. At Advent, we're out to change that. With 20/20 breathing, you'll have fewer sinus infections, more energy, you'll sleep better, and you will live better. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. In 2006, Advent pioneered the balloon sinuplasty procedure. And since, thousands of our patients can tell you, this simple 20-minute in-office solution really works. Balloon sinuplasty can give you 20/20 breathing so you can breathe freely through both nostrils with your mouth closed day and night. And that can change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
You're not just a job number as a Sidex customer. They've been family-owned since 1988, and they treat you as part of their family. Upgrade and transform your current bathroom space with Sidex Windows Siding and Bath. They have seasoned design consultants with 10 to 30 years of experience. The owner, Joe, is honoring his dad's legacy with top-tier products and expert craftsmanship. It's Sidex, the best in the business. Get a free shower door upgrade when you mention WTMJ. Visit sidexremodel.com.
This is one of my favorite Christmas memories. So one Christmas morning when I was little, my 4 brothers and myself, we got bottle rockets for Christmas. So after we opened all our gifts, outside we went with our bottle rockets to play. And surprisingly, these things go pretty high. Sure enough, one of these bottle rockets ends up on top of the porch roof. And so we go to the shed, get the ladder, and my older brothers crawl up there, and there's a bag up there. I mean, like, there's no tracks up here from anybody else. There's just this bag sitting up here in the snow. So we open it, and inside there's a gift for each of us from Santa Claus. And all we could figure is that when Santa was on top of the house roof, this bag just somehow slipped out of his hands or slipped out of the sleigh and rolled off and was sitting on the porch roof. And if we had any doubts previously, from that day forward, we were convinced there is a Santa Claus.
Holiday Memories, brought to you by Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Merry Christmas from Penny Mustard.
This is about how I sound when I sing.
The funny thing, a lot of people don't know that was our next guest who was singing that song.
Oh.
Yes. No, that's not true. But we do, here's what's true. We all try to keep our pets safe all year, right? We keep our dogs safe, our cats safe. I don't know if you do that if you have a gerbil, but I'm sure you try to. During the holiday, though, new challenges present themselves. So how do we keep our furry friends safe while our halls are decked? Good news is Steve Dale is here. He's a certified animal behavior consultant, author, and speaker. He's a devoted pet advocate and the first ever American Veterinary Medical Association Excellence in Media Award, which immediately was then named in perpetuity the Steve Dale AVMA Excellence in Media Award. Steve Dale joins us now. All right, so it's the holidays. We've got all kinds of new things around our home, and, our pets are a little bit nosy, and they like to do things that maybe they shouldn't. You have on your website the 12 ways of pet safety for Christmas. I don't know if you plan on singing them to us. Do you think? Are you going to, or are we just going to talk about them?
I think we should just talk about them because I'm not sure that the ratings will appreciate me singing.
Fair enough. Well, let's start with candles, because normally our house doesn't have candles. But during the holidays, my wife likes the house to smell like cookies and cedar and all kinds of stuff. It should seem obvious to people to keep your pets out of candles, but is it?
Well, no. Because there are house fires that start that way. But it's a bigger issue than that. So the candles may smell very nice to your wife, as you mentioned, but not necessarily to a pet bird. Those scents from the candles, they have such sensitive respiratory systems that they can actually be toxic and quickly they can kill a bird. In fact, if you're a rotten cook and you burn something, and many pet bird owners know this, and to keep the birds away from the kitchen because those fumes from what you burn might actually do the same. They're very, very dangerous. Scented candles can be a problem, a big problem for pet birds. But moreover, if we're talking real candles, there the kitty is enticed by the flicker of the candle and jumps on the table, the candle falls over, and now, my goodness, you've got a house fire, and that's not good.
That's not good.
You are painting a horrible picture of the holidays. All right.
All right, so then what about mistletoe?
Never, ever keep mistletoe where a pet can get to it, if it's fresh mistletoe. And, poinsettias, they get a bad rap. They're not great for pets. I don't even know how all this started. I have no clue, but they are not going to kill a dog.
Wait a minute.
So mistletoe is toxic, but poinsettia plants aren't?
I'm only talking fresh. So if it's dry mistletoe that's been around for 3 years, and that's often what we buy is dry mistletoe. But if it's fresh mistletoe, that can be, or lilies. Here's how toxic. Lilies are to cats. You know how cats like to lick their paw?
Sure.
Like that? So even if the cat just touches some of the water, the lily is in and then licks the paw, that cat's going to get maybe very, very sick.
Really?
Not to mention if the cat were to munch on the lily, and now we're talking about very likely getting sick. So fresh mistletoe, that's a no-no. The fresh mistletoe, poinsettia plants, you could take them or leave them. I mean, they're not good for our pets. They're not healthy for pets, but they may cause stomach upset. But they're not likely to be needing a visit to the ER.
All right, I'm putting that in our breaking news category because I've heard that. I've heard that forever.
Yeah, same.
No, they're wrong. Really.
All right.
Not about lilies though. Lilies are very bad for cats.
Okay. Kristen has a 1-year-old daughter. And an older dog.
I have a 14-year-old Chihuahua who has very little patience for my toddler. So most of the things on your list, like he's not going to get into anything. Like he kind of just wants to be left alone. And he appreciates her, but he also is kind of, so this kind of gets into the next one as far as relatives and little ones. And so what is your best advice as far as how I can get them to, she loves him, but a little too much and a little too hard sometimes. So how do I deal with that?
Well, you have to draw the line. So if your toddler were to try to walk into the oven, you would not say, oh, please don't do that. You would say, no! And you would be rather dramatic about it, right? And rightly so. If sometimes the toddlers pull at the dog's tail or ears or squeeze the dog too hard, we just gently say that's not a good idea. I would be more emphatic about it, first of all. Secondly, dogs need, all cats, all the time, their own place in any house, particularly a house like yours. So your dog needs an escape route and somewhere to go to be left. I want to be alone.
Yeah.
And give your dog that place, whatever that is, in your house. It's true for any of our pets, and it's true for us. I know Brian. Sometimes he wants to run away from me.
Always.
Just to be alone, and I understand that. But it's okay for our pets, too.
So Frankie just needs to chill a little bit, sounds like.
What I'm learning from that is to be a little bit more like, instead of just being, we do gentle pets, like, stop it. Like, be a little bit more like you're touching a hot stove. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. To the kid, your dog must understand you're not yelling at the dog because your dog might mistake that.
Okay.
And also, long-term, associate good things with your child. So when your child is around, and this is going to happen more and more as your child gets older and older and drops more food from the high chair.
Oh, he loves that.
Yeah, exactly. And as that happens more and your dog associates more of the good things with your child, their association will change to more positive. Having said that, you've got an older dog who's being squeezed. Older dogs, even small dogs, tend to have at least some arthritis. It may actually hurt.
Okay.
Oh. That makes sense. Let's go back to one more thing on the safety list. And if people want to read the whole list, they should go to stevedalpetworld.com because there's a lot of good stuff. And you kind of alluded to it now with Frankie, who may be dropping things off the table to the dogs. But not everyone is a 1-year-old who's doing this just by accident. Some of us are adults who think, it's the holidays. Perhaps my dog would like a little bit of Christmas dinner like I'm having. Good idea? Bad idea?
No, so here's the thing. A little bit, I'll say that again, a little bit of turkey without fat or ham without fat probably is not going to damage most pets. But what we forget is the size of most pets is, if we're talking cats, we're talking 8, 10, maybe 12 pounds. If we're talking a dog, we could be talking the same number of pounds or 30 pounds or 80 pounds even, but that is still far less than what we are for most dogs. So one slice of turkey, that's a lot for any of those animals. Just slice is a lot. So that's one thing to consider. Again, I say the fat or skin, I can't repeat that enough because that can cause and will cause pancreatitis, which can be even life-threatening. If your dog can get into the trash or your cat, then, so that trash has to be out of the way. You've heard about chicken bones, turkey bones, that kind of thing can be very dangerous as well. Also, what tends
I usually have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Good morning, Beat Freaks. Who's ready to move? Let's start this day right.
Tasha's morning dance parties are meeting rave reviews.
Lose your phones and find your groove.
They need an ops manager to help their community dance the morning away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists